This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. If anybody's even watching because the Cowboys are playing right now on Thursday night, I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Yo.
And we got Mike.
Train tracks 23. We're almost done. Let's go.
And Adi jumping in here. NJ.
We've got to run it. The music hit. It's the kids.
Just like CM Punk, they surprised us. All right. You guys want to bed?
Dang, I prefer Edge 2020.
That joke. I was supposed to make you that same joke.
Stop talking like that. Go to bed. Go. Okay.
No, we're not going
Good night.
to bed yet.
Good night.
Look.
Guys.
Look at my Izzy shirt.
Oh, look at Mike's shirt, guys. Look at my shirt.
Izzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye,
Love you.
guys.
Night.
Night.
Guys.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this week's episode. Obviously, there's quite a bit to talk about, and
There is.
not really quite a bit to talk about because we're really only recapping one show. But man, a lot happened.
Yeah. What's up,
Sean, what's up? Nice to see you. Yes, we're going to talk all about Survivor Series WarGames.
Okay.
Talk about a return, one that we did talk about last week and one that we didn't. And of course, discuss what is coming up, any other wrestling news as well, because there's quite a bit out there. So, but let's just start. The biggest return of the weekend, R-Truth, guys. How amazing!
Thank
was it to see him
God,
back
man.
on WWE TV?
I
Yes,
was just thinking to myself, man, I'm missing something on my TV screen, and it was our truth. And
yeah.
lo
But
and behold,
I've got to be honest, and now that I say this, I think this was actually on Raw, not at Survivor Series. But that man is a professional. Why he cannot eat jelly rolls cleanly and not leave them all over the couch? I'm a little disappointed in that man. I mean, not that I'm a Judgment Day fan, but to ruin their couch, I mean, come on, R-Truth, you're better than that.
Not gonna lie,
is he though? Is he though?
No, it's not at all. It's right up his alley.
With the fact that it's Judgment Day, and that was just,
Yeah, that was great.
yeah. I like how they turned the country singer Jelly Roll into actual Jelly Rolls and just made that a thing, which is pretty funny. So
It's WWE. The joke was right there. They had to make it.
yeah. Of course, we know about Randy Orton's return.
Looking jacked as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
my wife
God.
agrees.
I was like, what did Tina have to say?
He was
You
on
know,
Hyper 90X or something. Jeez.
The funny part about that is we were actually at the movies. We went to see the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and because my parents were watching the kids that night, and we're getting out of the movie. We're on our way home. Nice, Sean.
I did like that promo.
Yeah, that was a great promo. Yeah. We're on our way home, and then all of a sudden our group chat's blowing up. Man, Randy looks jacked. She was like, "Hurry up, get him!" Right there. You know. So yeah, we get there. We love the match, and finally gets to that, and yeah, she's, she missed seeing her man on screen. So of course, yeah. But
I think he added 2 extra abs to his 6-pack. Actually.
Finn was like, "Hey,
yeah,
that's my job."
That's why he got mad. That son of a bitch. I spent all this time having an 8-pack, and he just walks right back in with one.
He's like, "Hey, gimmick infringement."
yeah. But of course, the biggest thing everybody talked about, the one that just blew the roof off, and honestly, the way it was produced was so well done.
Actually, it was.
Yeah, they did such a good job. Not surprising it was Randy Orton's return, because if the surprise member was not CM Punk, they would have shit all over that match.
Yep.
But the fact that they put the graphic up, here's the copyright going off the air. Cole and Graves are silent, and the music hits, and that pop was just insane. Yeah. Can only get that in Chicago for CM Punk. So,
yeah.
And can we also stop and say that Triple H has a finisher as far as producing shows now, like signature move? because he did that in
It's
NXT.
no, it's a finisher. It's the graphic logo finisher. It's the
Yeah.
it's the copyright logo. That he doesn't. The pedigree isn't his best move anymore. It's not. It's not what he wins the night with anymore. It's the copyright logo.
Yeah.
See, and if he really wants to mess with us, he'll put up the copyright, he'll fade to black, and then just pop back on with like a surprise. Like, you know, you just figure anyway.
No, you know how they
show
usually
ended.
do the recap right after the pay-per-view ends?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they interrupt that? Like, oh my God, we're back. We thought we were done.
Steven, what's up, man?
what's
Thanks for
Steven?
joining us.
I like what if he did that? Like it's like Roman Reigns like winning for like the 1800th time, but then all of a sudden, in my dream of dreams, it's Okada comes out immediately challenges and wins the Universal title. I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
that works for me.
Tommy, I see your fanfics leaking onto the show again.
Dude, do you know how often I have to stall them from jumping out onto the screen whenever I'm talking, or in general in my life? So,
Yeah, unfortunately, Sean,
that
I'm gonna do that.
That's one of my
Yeah.
problems with the. Okay, I didn't make a video of this on my channel. I was going to, but I figured I'll wait to hear and then I'll do it. Maybe I'll do another one afterwards. I've been burned by this too many times to get excited anymore. If that makes any sense.
For CM Punk, you mean?
Yeah, like legit. Like I'm jaded at this point. Like it's like I want to be happy, but
I'm kind of in the same boat with you.
I actually groaned when his music hit. I was like, oh God, because I just don't know if this is gonna work this time. I got happy with AEW. It worked for a few months. Then he came back and did something else to get everybody mad at him. And now I'm just like, I don't know, man. I gotta like wait and see. I'm not gonna like immediately say, oh no, this is never gonna work. I know, but I'm really at the I gotta wait and see part of this because I have no idea how I feel about this yet. I really don't.
You know, I was hesitant to think he was coming back. I know we talked a bit about it last week. Heavy rumors, this and that. Living Color had remastered Cult of Personality,
which is fantastic, by the way.
Yes.
I have it. It's amazing.
It sounds great. It's not the one they used at Survivor Series, but it is the one they started using on Raw, that remastered version.
Yeah.
And the one they're promoting that you can go and download on Apple Music and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy referred to his new boss as the doofus son-in-law of Vince McMahon at one point. Just remember that. So the fact that Triple H reached out, they spoke earlier in the week, from what news reports have said. I think they're on the same page. They understand each other. You know, this isn't WWE is not a place like AEW where you can just. And there's no knock on AEW. They're still young. They're still learning. You mess up once here, and I'm sure they've had this discussion. You're gone. You know, and that's. It's not. He said.
Well, look at Sean bringing up the bright side. Sorry.
Yeah, the bright side, right?
Yeah,
AJ
sure.
Lee, exactly.
Yeah.
Which he mentioned on his Raw promo. Not gonna lie, I got actually rushed home in time to. The funny part is like my daughter had a volleyball game Monday. Do you guys know RCW Hall of Famer Pink? Her daughter and Adi are on the same volleyball team. We're sitting there. Yeah, we're sitting there watching. You know, with the game. And then Pink pulls up her phone because Raw is starting. I was like, hey, turn the fucking volume down. You know, just jokingly call her, hey, come on, you Mark, put it away. You know, just to mess with her. But you know, it's she was like watching to see if you opened the show, and obviously you didn't. So but they finished the show, and the thing he said that really catches me off the mic when they're fading out is like, you know, I'm back and I'm here to make money. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not necessarily in it to like win titles, he seems like he's going to have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. But here's what I've been saying for the past week, because everyone has it's like what you said. It's like, it's not like in AEW where they might bring you back. Did or did not Brock Lesnar throw the title at Vince McMahon and was brought right back not 6 months later? Did he not hurl the belt at this man?
Yeah.
Because like I get it, you know, and Brock's a big draw and everything, but and someone else brought this up. Like the whole, I don't know if you guys heard this news that Daniel Bryan was like one of the guys on the disciplinary committee, and everyone said, oh well, you know, Tony Khan's the handler. I was like, okay, do we just ignore all these years of Vince McMahon when he effed up Bret Hart, anybody, and Undertaker made the owner of the company go apologize to Bret, so he would telling him he'd have a company tomorrow. I don't mind people being happy Punk's back. I don't mind people not liking AEW because that's just life. But giving AEW all this grief for things WWE literally did 30 years ago, and it's sad that that's 30 years ago, but 30 years ago, like, it's different. I mean, it's ridiculous to me because say what you want about AEW now, WWE in '97 had WrestleMania was at least 13 years old at that point, and they were still making these same kind of mistakes. So why is it that AEW is gonna die next year when, like, 13, 20 years in the game, Vince was still screwing over his own talent. They were causing havoc. They were throwing temper tantrums. And another talent had to calm everything down because Vince didn't do it. And I'm not saying this excuses everything Tony Khan did. He has made his mistakes. That's fine. My point is, every company goes through this.
Yeah.
Every single company. This does not mean any company's dead. Because for the love of God, everyone who didn't like TNA said they've been dead, and this is going on year 21.
Yeah.
So here's the question I want to bring up that kind of relates to that. Why does WWF seem to have this magic vanishing waterfall that as long as you show up on WWE, then it's okay no matter what was done before or what happened? Because look, and I've said this.
That part too.
Yeah. Well, no. Cody Rhodes came in and was the golden child, and everyone loved it. Everyone was hyped for it. And I was like, cool, but do we not remember how AEW ended with him and the way he was booking himself and the way the fans turned on him? And now the same thing, because I know what you're talking about, Tommy. There's all these people online like, oh, why are you complaining about Punk? Because receipts. Did you not watch his time in AEW?
And my thing is, why are you complaining about Punk? Because you were 3 months ago. What are you talking about? You nutcase.
Okay, let's look at AEW, his run in AEW. What he did on TV, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That storyline, the MJF, they had lightning in a bottle. But yes, there were incidents backstage, obviously. Now, granted, is it mainly because there's a bit of an ego and people just don't get along? I don't think he can follow the Bucks.
Yeah.
He just doesn't get along with them. But yes, he should have kept his hands to himself on certain situations, shouldn't have gotten physical, certain things like that. Obviously, that's just professionalism 101, right? Now he did his suspension, came back, he was on separate shows. The Jack Perry thing, Real Glass, whatever. I don't know if that was related to the last thing that got him kicked off or something.
Well, it was because he lunged at Tony Khan apparently and made after he got into the according to all the reports that have come out after the scuffle with Jungle Boy, then he made a movement toward Tony Khan, and Tony Khan felt threatened, and that's kind of what led to stuff.
But obviously, when he came back, it was a one strike you're out kind of thing. Like, this is it. This is your last chance. And did he see Jack make that? Did somebody tell him this is what Jack Perry did? That's my question. I don't know. I almost feel like somebody backstage egged him on. I'm not defending the guy. He shouldn't have done what he did. No one should be pointing fingers at Bryan Danielson. He did the right thing. And as he said, doing the right thing is sometimes the hardest thing, And
apparently, from what I read, Punk already knew he said he's got nothing against Bryan Danielson because he made the right call. And that one report I read said he actually expected to get fired after that. So he said he has nothing against Bryan Danielson because he said that was the right call to make.
Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. Do you make a mistake? Yes, he made mistakes. It's been how long since that? 6 months? So you hope he learns from it, and I'm sure.
It's 6 months. It's been 3 months.
Yes, 3 months. That's right.
3 months. Okay. Well, blame AEW for no compete, right? I would say this. Obviously, he had the conversation with Triple H, the doofus son-in-law from his pipe bomb. I'm sure that came up. I'm sure they discussed it. Triple H isn't dumb. He's not going to bring him back. He's going to let him know, look, what that shit that went down, whatever. I'm sure he's got heat with guys backstage in WWE about stuff he said, who knows if the same doctor is there, you know?
No, I don't think he is. But
Yeah.
I don't think he is, no.
I don't know if there's real heat between Seth Rollins and him. You know, I know they were really playing that up.
No,
That's
I
another
think
question.
that's real only because I think the heat between Seth and Cody is real, but they just work together. So I think
Yeah.
I think it's real, but he's professional enough, like Matt and Edge. By the way, Joe, watch that video I sent. That
Not
was
yet. I
crazy
need
because
to.
there was a
Yeah.
lot of stuff in there I'd never heard of. Anyways, I think it's along the same lines. I think Seth probably does have legitimate, like, not real, like I want to kill you, but he doesn't get along with him. But they're professionals, and from what I've read, they were all told the main event, the men's war game participants were told a few minutes before they went out what was going to happen at the end. So I think Seth knew. I'm sure probably even Triple H told Seth, you know what's coming because you've already kind of set it up, whether you
Yeah.
meant to or not. And I
It
think
would it would explain why Corey and Michael Cole made
ready.
sure they were in the way. Ready. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Have you guys seen the video of Cole's reaction to it, by
Yes.
the way? Like,
Yeah.
he was just waiting. Okay,
Right,
how's the
right.
crowd going to react? As soon as the pops, he was like, hell yeah, we got him. Like that's what you want out of it. Why does everyone get a clean slate when you get to WWE? I would say right now because of a longer track record than AEW. You know, we haven't seen how AEW's handling stuff like this. They're bringing people in. We get that, but right now with WWE, there's a bit of professionalism involved with it that I don't think everyone. Yes, it's there in AEW, but no one fully sees it yet. It's just a different
Can
company.
I bring up an interesting point?
No.
Of all the people backstage who have been a problem at AEW, have y'all noticed that none of them were named Eddie Kingston?
Yeah.
And also
Eddie's been around a while. He's been
but
there,
like
you know?
everyone's saying, oh, he's gonna, he's not gonna, act right. He's gonna cause all these problems, blah blah blah. And there has not been one time where Eddie Kingston was the main problem backstage.
Speaking of Eddie Kingston, not to totally change subjects, but just real quick, have you seen clips of what happened on ROH tonight and what Athena said?
Yes, because she's an absolute savage. Now, if that means we're getting an intergender Eddie and Athena match,
and
I'm in.
I'm not sure when Eddie made comments about her. I haven't seen that.
I didn't remember that.
I'm down for it. So yeah, sorry, but
but Athena ain't afraid of nobody. So
no,
that makes sense.
Punk's return brings renewed excitement. That's just ultimately what it is.
I mean, and that's fine. Yeah. It's that's why I'm not trying to be nihilistic about it. I gotta wait and see, man. I don't want to get my hopes up because it just doesn't feel like the same guy who I was a huge fan of at ROH anymore. It just doesn't. And I may be alone in that, but maybe I'm not. But it's just that I gotta wait and see what happens. I can't. What's up?
So he told Cena years ago that you became the New York Yankees. Has he done the same thing as the Chicago guy? Has he become no longer the voice of the voiceless, but the voice of the corporate entity that is WWE?
No, yeah. I'd say he's still gonna carry that voice of the voice. He's still gonna have that attitude.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously, he's not gonna get in the ring with Triple H. Triple H is done. Could see him wrestling Rollins, but I don't think he's really pushed himself to be involved in like the main event picture and go after titles.
Well, here's something interesting though. First of all, if they do have a 4-night back-to-back buy one get one free extravaganza, he has a better chance of main eventing WrestleMania finally. But more seriously, Rollins, even though he did the heist of the century, has never been a named from the beginning participant in the main event last match at a WrestleMania.
Right.
It's true.
You can kill two birds with one stone with 2 nights and Punk and Rollins. Just for what it's worth.
What is up, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Unless each serves a different
And that's
purpose.
kind of what we were saying, what Tommy was upset with earlier.
Yeah.
That
that was actually the main thing because I think Sean said it earlier. Yeah, he did with the shadow, and that was another thing. It's like Orton's comeback got really just swept under the rug with that, and that really bugs me because he was out with the injury. Yeah, because he was in a year and a half with the injury. Everyone thought he may not even come back.
Right.
But he comes back, looks phenomenal, does great in the match, hits some massive RKO, which was probably one of my favorites now.
Definitely top 3. It's not my number one, but it's top 3.
No, that's still my number one. The Seth Rollins to move, but the fact that Rollins helped throw JD into it was fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing.
They're definitely going to JD McGoogle that though.
For sure. I get it. It's a business thing, and I'm not saying business wise it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, man, okay. I think I'm one of the people who took Randy Orton for granted for years because the second he came back, I was like, yo, it's going down now. And I haven't felt like that in a while. Like when you hear that his music start, that's when it's just getting serious in WWE. And I missed that feeling because Orton's one of the last of that generation who's still going strong. And so so him not being there really sucked. And having him back is a good thing. But then all this Punk stuff happens. And again, I get it from a business standpoint. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying from my standpoint, it was lackluster at best to me. And I just couldn't get into it like I wish I could have been more excited for it.
Yeah. I want to ask you one question with Randy real quick. How long, like how much did you think he might RKO Rhea on Monday night?
I was like, please do.
Because I was like, if there's anybody who could get away with it, because he literally has several times already.
I think they're saving it for like Royal Rumble or something.
Right.
Yeah. She's gonna get it at some point. I don't know when, but she's gonna get it. Like, it's right there.
Tommy.
Back to Rob's comment. Yeah, I see that. I mean, you had 3 epic returns. You had R-Truth, Randy Orton, CM Punk.
And we're not talking about R-Truth enough, if you ask me. Nowhere near enough.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. But here's the thing.
That's
true. If Punk was returning at the Royal Rumble, would it have gotten the same reaction?
No, because it was Chicago.
Yeah, because it had to be Chicago.
That's true,
I don't know if you noticed on Monday, it wasn't all cheers all the time.
No, it wasn't.
Well, okay, I didn't stay up to actually watch it because once I realized he wasn't starting the show and they're going to put him on the end, I was like, no, I'm not staying up for this. But I did go back and watch it on Tuesday when I got home, and it wasn't because they weren't in Chicago.
No, they're in Nashville.
So it was not full stadium going mad. Like you could kind of hear it kind of a few times, like waver almost to it. I don't know about this. So
hey Burnsy.
What's up, Burns? Yeah, Nashville. Then again, he did mention the Blackhawks in a Predators town. That probably killed a little bit of it, but
the only problem with that right now, Robert, is the time. Because even for the Rumble, that's now a month and a half, 2 months basically,
which is in Florida now.
Post WrestleMania is like 6 months away.
Yeah,
or whatever. So I mean, that's just having to wait that long.
Post WrestleMania, and honestly, they don't do a lot of returns post WrestleMania anyway. It's usually the Raw after Mania.
I think they overexposed themselves with post WrestleMania for so long.
Yeah,
like the last couple of years, people were like, "This is a crap post WrestleMania." So like,
yeah,
I think they outdid themselves making it such a big deal. So
I think maybe the Orton return you might have been able to save for Royal Rumble. That would have been pretty epic.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was ready to go. They want to do something with the Judgment Day, and I think they're setting something up there. Could you potentially have just done Judgment Day versus the other 4 and not even have Drew McIntyre involved? Yeah, for sure. Because
you also could have had Owens come in.
Yeah, could have done that and set that up. Whatever. But hey, they made the call, and it's the most watched thing on WWE social media in like ever. For what it's worth, and it shows you people are interested. It shows you people want CM Punk, and that's what it is. It's going to make them a lot of money.
And that's the thing. It's WWE. Yeah. They're always about the moment. They don't always put thought into what comes after. They want to get that moment, and we've seen that with some of their bigger. I mean, the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30, one of the biggest, events in the previous 10 years, and then after that, they just couldn't,
I have some theories on what the plans are for Punk, but I'm going to save that for my 1 minute warning. So I just want to. tease that a little bit here.
So I'm so wait and see at this point.
Yeah.
Like so much.
I mean, I'll just say real quick. I assume it's eventually Seth, even if that's WrestleMania, and I'm fine with that because they'll be great on the mic, they'll be great in a match. But that's all I want. Like I don't want anything out of Punk. Like I don't want to hear about anything else. I just at this point now, I just want to see him do his stuff and then go on with other things.
And apparently they have some kind of clause in his contract about behavioral stuff. From what I heard, I don't know how true this is.
I'm sure he understands why it's there too. So.
Yeah, but so we'll see. But okay, but let me ask you. Let me say this: if he agreed to have that in the contract, that means that MF knew he was in the wrong in the first place. Because you don't just take something like that and believe you were in the right. You had to know you were wrong at some point. Just saying.
Yeah.
But my thing. The reason I bring that up is like, okay, if he's admitting he's wrong, the fans need to admit he was in the wrong at some point. I'm not saying, and again, I can't stress this enough. I don't excuse the Bucks and Omega. They made a mistake too. They are not off the hook. They're not. But all of them should have known. All of them should have known better. Just saying.
Plus, I'm gonna be honest.
That's the growing pains with AEW, and they're a great company. I am excited to see Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage.
Yeah. I can't hit a company where people I legitimately know are employed. So,
it's not only that. Like AEW has tremendous talent. You know, they got Bryan Danielson, Moxley, Orange Cassidy. Swerve is, like we said, had his star-making performance. That dude's, main event level. Hangman.
BJ White did
it. Talent. I've got to be honest. They need to rein in the little shots at WWE that they've done the whole time they've been existing. Like, especially now. No. Like, I know the way you feel about it, but just do your thing. And, maybe it's a good thing that Being the Elite is going off the air or whatever it is, because just wrestle. Like, you've got talent. You need to stop. And I mean this for Tony Khan, too. You need to stop worrying about the demos and the ratings. Like, you have talent. Focus on what you have. Stop worrying about trying to compare yourself to WWE. Oh, look, on this Tuesday show, we got 3% better on this. Like, just do what you do because you've got talent. You've got a lot of things to be good there. And, hey, maybe book your women a little better and more women's matches because you got a lot of really good women talent there that you don't use very well.
Focus on the creative, basically, is what.
Okay, I'm maybe I don't watch it enough. When was the last time? Aside, I know the ratings thing, but besides that, when was the last time they took a lot of shots at WWE?
MJF, the Bucks, Kenny.
But when specifically? I'm asking. Like that's my question. It's like when did they okay, MJF cuts whatever promo he's gonna cut, but he shoots at everybody. It doesn't matter where they're at.
No, I know, but
I'm saying when did I'm saying everyone says they need to dial it back, and I keep asking, okay, when was the last time they actually did that?
Didn't Malachi Black say something about Punk on Collision the same night of Survivor Series?
Okay, so that one and
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my point. It's like, okay, that's one.
Yeah.
Where are the others?
Oh, come on, you know it's been there. You know they do it all the time. You know Being the Elite does it.
Being the Elite, the YouTube show everyone claims they don't watch. That the entire fan base claims we don't watch Being the Elite.
Literally, the week that Punk got fired, Kenny Omega's drinking a Pepsi going, oh, that tastes bad.
On the show, everyone claims not to watch. It's not even on TV.
And okay, mention WWE. Like if you're saying former WWE champion, whatever. I don't know. So who knows? But I don't know. I for one, I don't get TNT and TBS, so I catch highlights. I don't catch a whole lot of it. But I do think sometimes when they cut promos where they're mentioning the other company, those are the ones that seem to get a lot of traction on social media, and they gotta do their own thing. For sure, I get that.
But see what you just said. If that gets a lot of traction on social media, that's the fans' fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another problem. The fans are complaining about this stuff so much, but if that's all they watch, what's the motivation for the company to do anything else?
Yeah.
If the fans don't watch the women's matches, even the clips, if they don't placate for the women's match, and they don't placate for the straight wrestling, if they don't placate for that, and they only watch it when their AEW takes out WWE, what is the motivation to watch anything else? What is the motivation to do anything else? It's still a business thing, and if there is no motivation from the company to do other things, why would they even bother?
I agree, but it's also fair to say that their business is not as good as it was 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say. So you need to change something.
And because,
that's the lulls of it. There's going to be ups and downs, especially early on.
That,
yeah. So,
but
yeah,
when you're in competition and you've got some of those guys, I can kind of get it. But you've clearly some bad things have happened. Some of your own fault, some of Punk and other people's faults. But their business is not where it should be right now, and capable because they have the talent. You have Adam Copeland, you have Christian, you have Moxley, you have Bryan Danielson. Of the guys that are more well known, you have a lot of decent homegrown talent. MJF has gone from like never wanting to wrestle to maybe being the hardest working man in wrestling right now, trying to carry that thing on his back with with an Adam Cole with one leg. But clearly the business, has fallen and not gotten as much out of it. So I think you got to focus back to what AEW was when it was first coming out, and that was not WWE.
And my answer to that is the Continental Classic. Have you guys been seeing these matches? They've been phenomenal.
They're amazing.
But
people aren't. You got to find a way to get them back into it because they're not watching it right now.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, this is what Impact did. They started just focusing on the wrestling, and people slowly came back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So sometimes they're not going to get them back right away.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part for everyone who doesn't like AEW is Tony Khan has the money.
Yeah.
So he has the time to wait, and Warner Bros. Discovery is happy. So until the money runs out and Warner Bros. Discovery doesn't like what they're saying, they ain't going nowhere.
No, and I don't want them to. I just get tired of like all the like. I've said this before though. Like I'm so done with shoot promos, references. Look at me. And granted, Punk did it a lot. MJF did it a lot. The Bucks did it a lot.
Punk did it a lot. The same guy everyone's excited to go back to the place he shit on.
I know. Look, you know me. I think it's funny because honestly,
look, ultimately. Again, it's a never say never in wrestling. Mighty cold day in hell. But let's be honest, if Vince McMahon was still there, Punk would not be in WWE.
No, in fact, they said he tried that. Vince shot it down back in 2021. He was on suspension from AEW. He went to a Raw show, and Vince was the one via telephone that said they need to kick him out and not let him stay backstage. So
I do think that's kind of funny that from the telephone he did that. So
I really wish no one would have taught him how to use the telephone, but he was probably there when it was invented. So
I was gonna say make a rotary phone joke.
All right. Let's move on. Mike, you watched WrestleCade. Obviously, the biggest news about it was the NPW Championship match between Tiffany Nieves and
Right.
Izzy.
So specifically, because there were several things going on that weekend. Specifically, it was a show called Ladies Night Out. Also, shout out to Veda Scott, who was on commentary for that show, who is a great commentator, and honestly deserves a chance with one of the bigger companies, be it Impact, AEW, WWE. Really good at what they do and really should be there. So I watched Ladies Night Out, and I was kind of watching it because it was a stack card. They had a lot of good things going on, but obviously I was specifically waiting for the Tiffany Nieves versus Izzy Mission Pro match. And let me say it was worth the wait. I know also our friend Clint was at the show.
Oh, he was? Cool.
He was supposed to. Yeah, he went to the show. Again, the best I can say is Izzy continues match after match to prove that she is legit and that she is made for wrestling. All jokes and stuff aside, Tiffany is a badass and is a fighting champion, taking this Mission Pro belt around with her, mentioning it on NWA TV, mention it wherever she goes. And they had a hell of a match. Yeah, Jason, I'm right there with you. Bring WrestleCade to San Antonio because we will show up.
One day.
We will be there.
One day.
Yeah. We will
And
get that Austin
La
crowd.
Rosa Negra was there all weekend, which I would have driven out there if I had known that.
We will get that Austin crowd to come down. We'll get that Valley crowd to come up. It would be awesome. But yeah, they had an amazing match. I love this new spot. We saw it at Hybrid, where she kind of starts to get him in an armbar and then forces a friendship bracelet on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
She did it to Gia, in that match. She did it to Tiffany in this one, same way. And I love that if that's a new thing she's incorporating.
I'm hoping
her
that's
matches.
let that be a new thing.
It is just a fun
It has to
little.
be.
It is just a fun little wrinkle into her, to her moves and her character that cracks me up. But they had a hell of a match, hard hitting. I know we haven't seen all of the matches, and I know there was one weekend where Izzy came in for Hybrid, and then she did another show with United, but it wasn't at the Yard. It was like at a bar.
Yeah.
And she got into it was a mixed tag match and got into like hardcore stuff. And there's like a video out there of Izzy getting slammed on like a table at the in the bar by Diego, the worst pirate ever. But yeah, so like she is not backing down from any of these hard hitting women. But it was really cool after the show because obviously Tiffany got the win and retained the title. She grabbed the mic and did a little speech afterwards, told Izzy to get up, kind of like a tough love, like stand up, and put her over and said she respected her, for what she's done and being a part of women's wrestling. And, Tiffany's here to defend this title and fight. And, she respected her, and the WrestleCade crowd gave her a standing ovation, kind of brought Izzy to tears. It was super cool.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy. I don't even know if she's technically at match 10 yet. And she's killing it. So if she is, it's like right at 10. I mean,
it's close to, So.
It's like 3 Mission Pro matches. Well, I guess
like
maybe
3
4 now.
Like 3 United matches, right?
Probably 3 United, maybe
3 or 4 hybrid, and then I think
maybe
she's
right
wrestled.
about 10, 11.
Right, so that might have been match 10.
Yeah,
she did a show like in New York or something, or unless it was a convention, I can't remember. But yeah,
I think she. I don't think she did the.
I don't know if she
show. I
wrestled
think
at that
convention.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was just like an event. Yeah.
So again, and we've said this countless times, far ahead of like women we've seen WWE throw out there in years, and that was years ago. I get that.
Mhm.
Far ahead of women we've seen, and I'm not trying to disparage other women. I don't mean it like that, but we've seen people who are just starting out, and they look like they're just starting out. That's not an insult. You're new to the game. You don't get that feeling with her. Like she looks like she belongs. So we'll talk about it next week. But her next match is against Kylan King. So if you thought Tiffany Nieves was like a hard hitter, Kylan King is
I meant to ask Mission Pro about that. What did that girl do to deserve that? Because I don't know why everyone was determined to kill Izzy. Because I think she's a lovely young lady who doesn't deserve death by Izzy.
Taking advantage of youth, I guess. I don't know.
She wants it though, like that. She wants those matches. She's not. And I mean, I know you're kind of joking around a little bit.
Yeah.
But she wants them. They did that funny skit where Jeremiah left the match list just in the cafeteria at the Salvation Army, buddy. I don't know what that was about. And Izzy found it.
Dude,
dude was a bullfrog. Was a good friend of mine.
No, he's a good dude. But so that's going to be a hell of a match next weekend.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that more next week. But shout out to Izzy.
She got her blue belt in something. Hold on,
JJ
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah,
and they surprised her with that because that's part of the reason why they've done it the right way. She's like, she did jiu-jitsu training while she was also eventually learning to become a wrestler, but they surprised her with that. She thought she was going to get a stripe for a green belt. Then they surprised her. Nope, you're promoted to blue belt, which is pretty awesome. So
those tweets and Instagram are out there of that video. That's really cool.
Yeah. She's just a legitimately happy person, and so that also makes it easy to cheer for her, even though everyone is determined to beat her up.
Another final bit of storyline. Mercedes Money Varnado, aka Sasha Banks. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Posted a video of her on the comeback trail, and she's training at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. If you haven't seen it already, I think it's been shared on our Twitter account.
Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, everywhere.
And I just want to throw this out there. So I was at school, so I wasn't checking social media when it came out. I got a message from a certain hybrid wrestler who I'll leave unnamed because they're cool and I don't want to say like but they shared it, and I was like, "Are they still? Is she still training or has she left?" She's like, "Nah, she left." I was like, "Okay." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, did she leave anything for Izzy?" And they were like, "I really hope not."
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is really like we've talked about this with Izzy, right? Like we watched that match. It's probably one of our favorite women's matches of all time. I think I feel pretty confident saying that
Yeah.
between the three of us. And so when you said, we were like, could you imagine 8 years later we're friends with her and her parents and that? Then you also think like both of them are now connected to hybrid,
Yeah.
right? Because Mercedes she's been there before. She comes back there as part of her training. That's what Izzy has found as her home gym. Like it's just weird, but awesome.
It is. It says a lot. I think what it
Yeah.
says really most about is what hybrid has become.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
100%.
it's crazy that the first ever interview we did on this show was Chris Marvel. We did it at the old Hybrid School of Wrestling location, which was a lot smaller than the one it
Yeah.
is now. And they were training in the back. Go watch. I think it's like the one of the 30th episodes somewhere in there. It was pretty early on. But to see where it's come from, where big name wrestlers like that are on the comeback trail are making a stop at your facility to train because they know word is spread. Like in the world of wrestling, stuff like this is definitely word of mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You walk into hybrid, you see all the pictures of all the current and former stars that have made appearances there, that have trained there,
Yeah.
and it's pretty amazing to watch. So it's just something else. I dare say this is possibly the best wrestling school in the nation. So it's amazing just what they've done. To think this started as Marvel, Ray Rowe, and Masada. They
Yeah.
started the school, and look what it's become. It's just simply amazing. So.
Real quick, Bernsey, I was talking earlier, so I just really actually read your message. Yeah, we'll probably be in each other's videos and pictures. It's cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, I mentioned this in our chat. Of all the people you see in the video and in the pictures training with Mercedes, we have interviewed all of them. And one of them should be coming out soon because we did do one other interview over the Thanksgiving break. And I know it's obviously with the holidays and this week, it's been a little delayed, but we do have one more interview coming out soon.
Yep.
From that, and was also a person involved with that training. So,
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to all of
Very
them.
cool. Very cool. Well, guys, let's get into Survivor Series WarGames. Not just the return of it, but just the show as a whole. Yes, I know there was a lot of other things that did happen as well.
Wait,
so,
other stuff happened at that show?
yeah. So, but big shows like this, there's only 5 matches that made it on the card, and much as we predicted, I think we called how the order was going to go pretty well.
I think
actually.
we did. Yeah.
So, Women's WarGames Intercontinental Championship, the Escobar Dragon Lee, Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark, and then of course the Men's WarGames finished the show. So, what stood out to you guys? Mike, we'll start with you. What moment or match was most memorable to you?
Well, I know this is going to come as a shock to you guys.
Yeah.
But Bayley is legitimately the MVP of the women's division.
I thought you were gonna say Zoe Stark, dude. I gotta admit, I'm shocked.
I mean, she lasted that long in the
No,
Rumble.
Zoe Stark is really good, and I give her credit despite the jokes from earlier. In the year. No, she is, but no, like the women's war games match was fun to start off with. Kairi Sane like marching, skipping, whatever she was doing down to the ring when she came out of the cage.
Yeah.
I know they're kind of setting up the storyline where like most of Damage Control now with Asuka and Kairi are kind of on the same page, and you're just waiting for Bayley to be booted out, basically.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting video because I did see it after the event where like Bayley was like wrapped with ice and sitting on one of the production boxes, like we tried everything. I don't know what happened, and I'm not sure where my teammates are. If you see them, let me know.
Yeah.
And then someone made a TikTok with that and overlapped it with like she literally saved all 3 of her teammates from a pin at a different point in the match. and then took the pin by the manhandle slam from Becky into the table, and no one saved her. So I don't know if WWE meant to be that poetic, but it's a pretty cool story. And I'm ready for the Bayley redemption arc, so let's go.
I believe they meant to be when Triple H is in charge.
Yeah. Triple H does a better job of long-term booking this kind of stuff.
He generally does. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the biggest clue to me is seeing that a face turn is coming. She's growing her hair out.
I didn't
Think
know
about it.
that.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
she's
I
growing her
noticed
hair
that.
out, and
Absolutely right.
Adi. God, love my kid. Doesn't matter if she's pissing people off, if she's a face or a heel, she loves it. But she noticed hey, her hair's getting longer, and I was
Of
like,
course,
you know
the kid notices it longer.
But it makes sense.
It does. No. I'm just saying. You're right.
The face turn's coming. By WrestleMania, we could have inflatable tube men again. It's could happen.
You're right, and I shouldn't have doubted that because she's been Bayley OG since her day one, since she started watching wrestling. She didn't turn on Bayley when Bayley turned on the fans. So yeah, I should have realized she would have noticed. Good call.
No, if it wasn't her bedtime, she'd be in here giving expert analysis on Bayley, I'm sure. But she was also happy to see Kairi Sane. She would love Kairi Sane when the first time in.
Kids edition. We gotta have it earlier time.
Don't give my daughter ideas. She keeps asking. But
it'll get way more watches and views than us.
I'm pretty sure that's coming. I'm pretty sure Dakota Kai is going to be the ringleader somewhere about there. A lot of people were reporting that Julia could be coming over. March, I think, is when her contract expires with Stardom, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So
like that.
maybe just time for WrestleMania. Who knows?
Julia,
if she does come over and they want to main roster her, obviously she can be thrown in there, or at least she's going to go to NXT first. Who knows? But I think the Bayley face turn is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Bayley face turn is coming by WrestleMania, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be facing Dakota Kai.
So do they hold the turn to Rumble and then do the storyline up to WrestleMania of her?
I think Rumble's where it falls apart.
Yeah.
Where they finally say it.
I'm kind of with that.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they keep the Damage Control name and don't give them some random name because it sounds Japanese, because that's so annoying.
Okay, I mean,
they'll say it with a Japanese accent. Damage Control. What? You think I'm lying?
I would accept that.
You think I'm lying, but that's probably what they're going to do.
Except it's WWE, so you always have to be like, because honestly, when they group the Japanese girls together, Io and then Asuka join her, and then Kairi Sane shows up. You're like,
I know, but it's like, I mean, all the other cool Japan factions, like there's the Voodoo Murderers, there's Chaos, there's Queen's
You realize you can be saying random words and we would believe they're stable because we don't know, but we trust you.
Actually, the funny part is I'm not lying. Voodoo Murderers is actually a stable.
No, I believe you.
You can actually look it up. They're real.
Peanut butter.
Really cool. Really
peanut
cool
butter monkeys, Yellow Door.
The peanut butter and jellies. Yeah.
So, first of all, amazing feud. I don't know why you guys are sleeping on that one. The matches, that level of violence. Yeah, Mick Foley even said, "Guys, calm down." But
oh my God.
Darby Allin said, "Whoa, I wouldn't do that."
No, but that women's
John
WarGames
was
match.
like, "Oh my God, you guys are just sick."
That women's WarGames match was match of the night for me, hands down. Hands down, it really was. There's nothing that topped it.
I need Io to stay away from trash cans. She fine.
No, it's like Kofi in the Rumble. He has to do a spot. You put Io in WarGames, something's going on with the trash can. It just has to happen at this point. Like you might as well leave a trash can up there just for her.
Have you seen the meme? It says, "I'm convinced this is only for pro wrestling because I've never seen anyone with one of these trash cans."
Oh, they got to be young, dude. I grew up in the 80s. I remember metal trash cans. How old
are you young? No, the people make it young.
Yeah.
It was hilarious when I saw it.
Honestly, my favorite meme out of that is that somebody edited out Io Sky and put Oscar the Grouch in the trash can, making the dive, and Elmo's at the bottom like, with everybody else. Yeah, so
that's good.
One other thing, though, on that women's match, I do want to say...
Go ahead, but I like what Jason said here. Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, Damage Control's just getting over just because they're really cool. I mean that for real. Like, they are really cool, and it's a good storyline. But yeah, I do got to say it was cool to see Charlotte and Becky cool again.
Yeah,
For now.
that was
Seems to
cool.
be cool working together. And then again, I don't remember if this happened before Survivor Series or it was on the. I guess it happened before Survivor Series. It had to have. But there was a backstage segment where Shotzi walks into Charlotte Flair, and since Shotzi cut her hair and came back, it's just been like, I'm Shotzi, I'm crazy, woo, and not a lot of character development.
Fair.
She came in, talked to her, her. I guess it was before because it was her teammate from the War Games, and was like, hey, I just wanted to remind you what you told me the first time I met you here. And Charlotte was like, I told you you're beautiful and you're great and you're wonderful. And I was like, it's not that hard to make Charlotte not what you've made her for the past 10 years. In a 30-second backstage promo, you gave her more character development than she has had in her whole time of, woo, I'm not going to use Ric Flair's name, but I'm Ric Flair's daughter, woo. 30
Again.
seconds.
Who's booking it now?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you got to remember that. So yeah,
So,
I mean,
and this is what I've been saying. It's just like I say, kind of like, okay, I made the I don't know if I told y'all this, but there are two preachers at my church who love WWE. So we got into it because they're Roman Reigns fans, and I cheer, of course, for LA Knight. Yeah. So so we got into it, and like they were talking about, like, Roman with the belt and everything. I said Roman without the title is still Roman Reigns and still a great wrestler and a great talent, great act. Same with Charlotte. She is a great wrestler. She could have a great character aside from being obviously Ric Flair's daughter. While not saying I'm Ric Flair's daughter, she didn't have to be a carbon copy of Ric Flair to get over.
Yeah.
She could and that's what got on my nerves with her booking. I mean, like I said, no problem. Like you said, Mike, like in that few seconds, that promo was just great because like you saw a different side of her. Yeah, which again, a different side of a character in wrestling is not a bad thing. Hello, Roman Reigns again, tribal chief and all that was like the most miraculous change ever. Because then all of a sudden,
when he was horrible face for years.
Yeah, because then now we're not supposed to cheer him, but damn it, he's entertaining now.
we said it for years. He needed to be heel for people to respect him.
Yeah.
People went heel. That it's probably one of the obviously,
but also
I think arguably one of the greatest heels in the history of wrestling.
Do we even need him right now?
No. Someone else.
I mean, WarGames showed that they don't.
Someone else brought that up. That was the thing. I forget where I read it. Someone said, "So does this make Roman Reigns more irrelevant now?"
I was
like,
"Yes."
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah," because you did.
Oh, and then I said, "Who?"
That's right. That's what it was. Okay. I sorry. I was seeing so much stuff. I thought I saw somewhere else. My bad. That was you, Mike. But I was like, but it's like, dude, what is the point anymore? Just let it.
Honestly, I think they're stuck with WrestleMania at this point.
Yeah,
they know they can't. They know he can't lose now at anything but WrestleMania, if that. So, also, Jason, I see you trying to give Asuka credit for everything because you're an Asuka. I see you, but it's okay.
So basically, when Asuka and Bayley have their one-on-one match at long last, it'll be a house divided between Jason and Mike. I understand.
Yeah. It's gonna be what they're building up to. Honestly, after here's how I predict it's gonna happen. Like I said, they're gonna turn on Bayley at Rumble. It's gonna be some sort of thing where Bayley has to somehow run a little gauntlet to get to Dakota Kai. You can call it the MJF storyline if you will, but that's just kind of how you might. I would probably see it going down if she wants her get her hands on Dakota Kai at WrestleMania. That's probably I predict it's going to happen. So
should be cleared by then.
Who? Kai?
Yeah.
I would assume.
I would assume
like
so.
4 or 5 months away.
Yeah. So it's April. Yeah.
And honestly, the only thing I'm worried about that is like Bayley would probably still try to put her over anyway. So
true.
We'll see.
We'll
see. Yeah. All right. What's up?
No, I'm sorry because we're getting on to other things.
Yeah.
Miz, he's an MVP.
No, yeah. You can
storyline of Gunther, like you're not good, you're horrible, and he pulled so much cool stuff, but like Miz, but still, like kept him in the match, and
people cannot like Miz all they want. It doesn't change the fact that man is a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever he goes in.
For sure.
And there's no question about it. He's going in, guys. And if you don't like him, you're gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah.
Let's just say it as it is right now. He's gonna wrestle for a long time. He's such a asset to WWE. He does things the right way with his career. And when he goes in the Hall of Fame, it's because it's when he actually retires and
Yeah.
he's ready to retire.
Again, the least
yeah.
problematic guy in pro wrestling.
Yeah. Simply amazing.
Yeah.
Escobar versus Dragon Lee went pretty much about as I expected it to go.
Good
Yeah.
match, but-
It was
Yeah.
a good match. I love how everything else was so crazy. Yeah, that was a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark. Stark had a good
What?
showing, but
I
yeah.
was it wasn't bad.
Yeah, was it?
No, she is. I think she's established herself as a solid part of the women's division going forward.
Yep.
I do have a kind of problem. It wasn't on the show. It was on Raw. Because Nia Jax beat her.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like
And I
that.
don't know why Nia Jax is getting a push. I know Jason said when I tweeted it, so Jade can come in and beat her. And cool, but I don't even know if it's worth it because as a character, I'm not a fan at all of Nia Jax. I wasn't a big fan of her coming back, and she beat Raquel. Now she's beat Zoe. Not a big fan of that part.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
doesn't
think she
make any
needs.
sense.
I don't think she needs to beat Zoe. Being Raquel, I kind of get. I don't think she needs to beat Zoe. I think Zoe should have got a win back to keep her looking strong. But that's just me. And
And
everyone knows I
she
like
looked
Nia Jax.
strong in the match. She looked strong
Yeah.
against Ripley. But I almost kind of believe, Jason, that the only reason you're beating Nia up is because you want someone to come in and then beat her, and then it looks like a big deal. But I don't like the path to get there, honestly.
But
Yeah.
even if it is Jade, that's almost a moot point because her being signed was a big deal to begin with.
No, it was. But they have noticed she hasn't been around for a while.
Yeah, I heard she's been
Yeah.
training.
Right. And they said, when she's ready, we're not going to put her ahead of time.
Yeah.
Why? So she can get thrown out by 10 women at once? Like, that's
Yeah.
really how it goes with her, So,
She'll fight them off with her abs.
yeah.
I mean, her, Finn Balor, and Randy Orton might as well just start a club.
Wait,
Yeah.
who are you talking about?
Oh, I thought he was mentioning
Jade.
Nia Jax.
I meant Jade.
Sorry. Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
said
He's
Well,
oh.
I didn't want to be a jerk, but I thought we were talking about Nia.
That's what I thought.
I switched to Jade.
No,
That's
I
my
know.
bad.
Okay.
And you said we'll fight them off with their abs, and I was like,
Yeah, my bad.
I don't want to be a jerk. I don't
Yeah.
have them either, but okay.
No, we all have them.
All right.
Somewhere.
Well,
Well, how do we
Not
do with our
before.
predictions? Tina went 2-3. Myself and Mike 4-1, and Tommy pulled a Tez 5-0.
This is the first Tez I've ever pulled. Like in all the time we've done this, I think it's the first time I've ever pulled a Tez.
Yeah. So
although if we would have, that's what we should have done. Our
What?
6th pick should have been, is Punk coming back? Because I think we all said no.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I
feel
think
like
I
we
said
talked
no.
about it.
I didn't.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
I guess.
convinced, but I did think that Priest was going to cash in.
Yeah, you
Almost
called
got it.
Yeah.
Almost. I don't know how they're going to work that in the middle of a WarGames match, though. That would be crazy.
Well, and they did it
Yeah.
as good as you
Well,
could.
I did like the idea of them bringing out another ref who could have basically became like an Ultimate Jeopardy match, like ECW used to do, where like it's a
Yeah.
match inside of the match, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
which ring is official for that, too? Because you know the alternate rings, right? So,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. All right, WrestleCast ratings for WWE Survivor Series WarGames 0-5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. I'll go first on this one and say it's a 4.25. You know,
I really thought I heard a 5 coming out. I was like, ooh, really?
no.
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
it's not at that level yet.
Okay, well,
no.
you were teasing it, so I got caught. I got
Yeah,
played.
I got you.
I'm a
Yeah,
mark.
4.25. I mean, the WarGames matches were
Yeah.
just solid. They bookended it. It's sad to say that as good as some of the middle matches were, they felt like filler. It sucks, but
Yeah.
they're just
Someone
short.
else said that too, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
But obviously it was a 4 at that point. The CM Punk return surprise, it boosted by 0.25 for me. I was just gonna say CM Punk's worth another quarter of a point, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was just a great show. It's becoming like WWE's, because they're not doing anything in December. Like, right?
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, WWE's not aside from Deadline, they don't have anything booked in December. Now it's the build up straight to Rumble.
I think so.
Cody Rhodes already announced himself for the Rumble, and they're going straight into that. So if this is how you finish the year with your premium live events, hell yeah, WarGames is great. So they've done an amazing job with Survivor Series. It's really boosted Survivor Series in the past couple of years, is having WarGames as a part of it.
Yeah, you're right. Deadline and that's NXT technically. So it's not till not till Rumble. That's not even till the 27th. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely,
Okay.
WarGames has been one of the best things they've pulled from WCW, and they're using it right now. So 4.25 for me. Mike, what about you?
I'll probably go around the same thing, 4.25, but I did that before Punk came back. Now I take it back. I had a 4.5, and then Punk came back, and I took off a quarter point. How about that? No, about 4.2 point. And I'm pretty much in the same lines with you. Like, it was solid. The WarGames matches are always fun, and they did do them pretty well. Like, they did crazy things in the women's matches. There was fun things in the men's match. Orton coming back actually would have, given me another 0.25 because he just looked like he was having so much fun.
He did, didn't he? Oh, God.
And it's just weird. It's not even like the middle matches were filler because they were solid matches. It's just, like you said, with those two book endings being so huge, especially that Escobar Dragon Lee, which in so many places is a main event because it's such a talented match. But there wasn't a lot of stake to it because it kind of got made last minute because it was supposed to be Carlito who was fighting for Rey Mysterio, and then Carlito got hurt. So, but I do kind of hope Escobar gets built into a decent heel.
Apparently, the rumor is that what's his name from NXT are supposed to join him in SmackDown and form like their own.
Los Lotharios.
Yeah. Like, and like, who's another version of another LWO type deal? I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Tommy, your rating for WarGames?
Actually, 4.25. And honestly, you said it as a joke, Mike, but also the CM Punk thing did knock it down for me. I'm not lying. I'm that not convinced that this will work out yet. If I'm wrong, cool. I want to be proven wrong, but I can't sugarcoat it. Like, I'm not convinced this is going to work out yet.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, great. I will happily take the L if I'm wrong. I want to be proven wrong. I hope this all works out. All parties involved walk away from this happy. Everybody gets their money, gets their cheers, their pops, their boos, whatever they want out of the deal. We're all good. But honestly, I was happier until this music hit. I really was. I was enjoying the show fine until this music hit. And that really took me out because all I thought of was all the drama that's my problem. I immediately associated him with a lot of drama, and that just killed it for me.
And that's fair. He's
so like I said, let me be wrong. Prove me entirely wrong, and I will eat all the crow in the world when I'm proven wrong.
And I think wrestling fans everywhere want you to be wrong on this one. Like,
I hope I am.
This is his second chance in more ways than one.
Yeah,
it's his second chance in WWE. It's his second chance in the eyes of wrestling fans from what happened in AEW.
Yeah. So dear God, let me be wrong. But like you said it as a joke, Mike, but really it was a 4.5 for me. And his music hit and it got bumped down. It really did. I was really like, oh.
And for me, it just goes back to what I said earlier. Like, why are we not allowed to bring up the things that happened in the past? Why is he in WWE now? And there's so many people like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. If you don't like it, you're a hater.
No, if you don't like it, you're just a realist because last time this happened, it didn't go well.
The people saying that are the ones that don't watch AEW, ultimately.
Or no, they watch AEW just to point out all the ways that it's wrong and they don't like it. That's all.
Yeah.
Was that some hard math there, JC?
Very difficult. I kept messing up on the calculator
pull out
too.
The Inspire
my calculator was out of battery, so I had to pull the abacus out for that.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Damn, I hadn't heard that word in a while. Real quick to Jason's comment. Yes.
Wait, which one?
The last one he put. Nia.
Yeah, I'm not okay. See, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want a Brock Lesnar Rumble. Like, what happened after was cool because that was when Edge came back. But I'm not sure I want to watch Nia like go through a bunch of the very talented women's roster. Now, again, do I want to see Jade come in? Sure. I just don't know if Nia doing that is worth it, but that's just me.
Yep. All right. Well, time to move on to our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
I do, because I have some inside information.
Oh, snap. All right. Whenever you're ready,
Cool.
sir, go for it.
I have sources now that I won't tell about. Tommy kind of knows my sources,
Uh-oh.
but we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks the potential of Jasmine and Maddie being signed. We know last week the report came out that reportedly Maddie had gone back to Florida and that they believe she had been signing with NXT, but nobody could say it for sure yet. But according to my sources, if you go on Cameo or if you go to Big Cartel, Maddie Rinkowski is no longer on either of those services. So I'm just saying that seems like a pretty good indication that she may no longer be accepting indie bookings, say starting 2024, because you would figure if she was, she would still be making that extra cash off Cameo and off her Big Cartel store. So that's just according to my sources. You can look it up for yourself, and I did it. They're not there. So hopefully that's a good sign.
Man, how far this show has come. We've got sources.
I
It's
know,
freaking
right?
Crazy. Yeah, eat your fucking heart out, Meltzer.
Wait, did he
Tommy,
say that officially, like right now, Jason, or a while ago? No, seriously. Because was that like just now? Because I haven't seen it official. I've heard everyone said that they believe she has. Oh, sorry, that's me.
it's okay.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, while Mike's researching that, Tommy, do you have something for us this week?
No, I think I've ranted enough. I think I'm good.
Okay.
You don't even want to talk about Khan in the tag lead and possibly joining.
I forgot that happened. You know what? Yes, I got one. Go for it.
Go for it.
I forgot. Oh my god, I completely forgot that happened.
Wow, I brought up a New Japan thing. Look at me.
Good job, Mike. But no, as far as that goes, Sweet Heavenly Lord, I hope that works out well for Khan. Because, okay, HOT, if y'all don't know, are kind of on the outs with most wrestling fans. So, a high legacy of nerd. I hope that works out for them because Khan's a great wrestler, and of course, this tag team is fantastic, and I think they have 2 or 4 points on the board now at the World Tag League. But also, now that you mentioned that, Ryan Davidson, who's in the All Japan Real Tag League, he fulfilled a dream of his because he took a picture at the Ribera Steakhouse with the jacket. So proud of him too. So yeah, all I can say is with that House of Torture thing, God, I hope that works out because Khan deserves the world. He's a pretty cool dude.
I agree, 100%.
Yep. So thanks, Mike. I forgot that happened.
I think that potentially is the first ever hot tag that we've had on the 1 minute warning here.
I
Mike,
think so.
Right? So
because I legitimately did forget that happened. I can't believe I did, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw something else post about it just a little while ago, and then you were like, "What? New Japan? You had nothing to say?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been that kind of week.
It's okay. That's how we
all right.
here.
Well, shout out Legacy Nerd because their comment is right on time with what I'm going to be talking about here for this 1 minute warning. I mentioned it earlier in the show. What do I think is planned for CM Punk? And right here, this is what he said off the mic, but straight to the camera to the TV audience. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So what does that tell me? Well, obviously, I don't really see him much in the title picture. Yes, they're going to do something with Seth Rollins, and I could potentially see that going into Royal Rumble, where he's wrestling Rollins for the title at Rumble, probably loses it, but it's not going to be such a major issue.
Yeah.
He's here to make money. What's the biggest show you make money at? WrestleMania. Who is the opponent he's going to make money with? There's only one person. There's only one dream match for CM Punk that he never got, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. No. Who wouldn't want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk? Do we forget the pipe bomb promo? He's wearing a Steve Austin shirt. The beer drinker versus straight edge. The storyline spoke for itself. We got a little backstage preview of it before the pipe bomb. It's a dream match for Punk. It's a dream match for Steve Austin on some level, I'm pretty sure. And WrestleMania 40 in Philly, that's a great spot to make it happen, and I really hope it does.
I did read somewhere that they said now it's a real possibility. Someone said it's a real possibility that could take place now.
I believe it. I mean, that's going to make money. And would anybody be mad if that main event's night 1 of Mania? I mean,
they weren't mad when Owens and Austin did it that one time in Dallas. So
yeah. So I'm sure it would go over well. Now, obviously, you want to see what else is booked too. I mean, I could see it going semi-main to a women's title match. Who knows? But I think that is a great match for a night 1 for sure.
If he ends up main eventing night 1 of a 4-night extravaganza, I'm never gonna stop laughing. By the way, I'm just gonna fall on the floor and pass out from laughter. It's gonna look like the Joker attacking me.
It's 4 nights, but you only pay for 2 because it's a buy one get one free.
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm gonna fall on the floor laughing. If we were watching at your house, JC, you might have to get some smelling salts to revive me because I'll be too busy. Like
you know how Superhero Con is now, like 4 nights, or 4 days.
Yeah,
it's from Thursday through Sunday. That's gonna be WrestleMania soon. It's just
I've got 3 TVs in the house. Should we do like one night on each TV just for the hell of it?
Yeah, let's move around.
Sure,
let's do it.
Yeah, be cool. Yeah,
Make it feel different each time.
Yeah, exactly. So, like we had different seats in the arena. Oh, here we go. I like to see Steve Austin to beat Punk.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's maybe an interesting question. Who goes over?
I would say
depends
Austin.
how it promos. Depends how it goes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, flip a fucking coin.
I mean, I'm Austin 100%.
I still got my Stanley Cup Avalanche. I'm flip. If that happens in Mania, I'm probably flipping this to decide who I'm picking that night. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, because I just want to see it.
I just want to see it too.
Yeah. So, yeah. Something else that Punk would have gotten over Cena because that's a dream match Cena always wanted too. Never got it. So, yeah.
Why are you pro him going over Cena?
No, but I'm saying Cena always said that was his dream match, and he never got to wrestle Steve Austin. So yeah, for sure. So, thank you everybody for joining us on the WrestleCast. Now next week it's gonna be a loaded show. We're talking about quite a bit. We've got NPW to talk about. Tommy, also you're gonna be going to VIP, right?
So far I believe I am. So if I know for sure that I'm going, I'll preview that a bit because I got stuff going on. And now, real quick plug: BOW, the card for January is getting stacked. I think everyone should come to this show.
It is actually.
It is getting a stacked show. January 6th. Please come out.
Yeah. So next week we'll talk about Silver Bells. We're going to talk about NXT Deadline, their final event of the year, and we're going to talk about the last Impact event. And not just of the year, but Impact Wrestling, Impact Final Resolution. Because starting in January, the official rebrand back to TNA begins. So
I know it's called the Hard Justice. Why was it not called Genesis?
Isn't Genesis like middle of the year somewhere?
I don't
know.
care.
Genesis used to be in January. I don't know when that changed. Genesis used to be in January. You're right. I don't know why they changed that.
I mean, because literally, this is called Impact Final Resolution.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I feel like you should have started with TNA. Just 2 cents, but you know.
It Genesis used to be in January, and that changed for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know, but if TNA's back, I really hope we get a lockdown and a Destination X official.
What? Dak Prescott didn't blow it? Well,
God dang it! I got that pick wrong on Sports Minorities. Oh my God.
Well, Mike, in your defense, there was a very good chance.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's
what was the final score? Like
35-41.
Damn. No defense. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching this week's episode. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving weekend. One quick thing I do want to shout out in a way, this is a bit geek related, but also something very personal. A very good friend of the family unfortunately lost a battle with cancer last night. Josh, you see there pictured with his wife and Lori and his daughter Luna. Lori used to work with Tina at McCollum, and Luna actually is a 5th grader at my daughter's school, so they're very close to Audie around softball. And quite frankly, for her age, Luna's one of the best pitchers in the city. You'd be hard pressed to find anybody else that can. But Josh had been dealing with a cancer diagnosis, was in remission, and we just saw him talk to him at a tournament not too long ago. He was doing great, and then they found a new diagnosis, and unfortunately, he passed last night. But he's such a great guy, and him and his wife had started the business Tons of Fun on the South Side. If you don't know what that is, Mike, you've been there. It's a party place where we had Adi and Jay's birthday parties. Huge huge video arcade you can rent for parties, and it's so much to go on there. I mean, you want to talk geek? Like this guy would tell me how excited he was that they just got like a new cabinet for tons of fun. We got to go there. So, I just such a great guy. The outpouring of support within the youth softball community because he was a coach for so many girls at one point, and see so many girls at tournaments going up to him saying hi and to see how he's doing. So, cancer sucks.
Yes.
To the Leha family, we love you. We're here for you. Whatever you guys need, we'll definitely be there. To Josh, you made such an impact on this family, the softball community. Prayers to you. Watch over your daughter. She's going to do great things. And just know this community loves you guys, and we may you rest in peace. We're all going to miss you so much.
Yeah.
So,
Condolences, man.
For sure. Jeez.
all right. Thank you once again, everyone. Down here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky,
Boom.
boy.
See you next week.
Adios, Gunther.